Holding someone accountable is not an attack, though may not also be a tea party. Accountability Africa is designed to always ask questions on how our commonwealth is being handled. And from the private sector, we pry into their customer service operations. Accountability Africa. Hello and welcome. On this package, we are talking politics. And my guest is the presidential candidate of the Social Democratic Party SDP, Prince Adewole Adebayo, a lawyer and businessman. We are so glad to have him here, seeing that he feels at home. Why not? He is in his constituency, TV world. Prince Adebayo is a media proprietor. He's the president and founder of Captain TV Network. So welcome, Prince.
It's a pleasure.
We are so glad to have you
Good
around.
to see you, and I'm happy to be with the veteran.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you. Now, as I did say, he is a founder and president of Captain TV. Now, you just give me a few minutes and let us set the tone for this program, because we'll be talking politics and other allied issues. Now, the 2023 Nigerian presidential election will be held on the 25th February 2023 to elect the president and vice president of Nigeria. Incumbent APC President Muhammadu Buhari is term limited and cannot seek re-election for a third term. The president of Nigeria is elected using a modified two-round system. And to be elected in the first round, a candidate must receive a majority of the vote and over 25% of the vote in at least 24 of the 36 states. If no candidate passes this threshold, a second round will be held between the top candidate and the next candidate to have received a plurality of votes in the highest number of states. Abubakar Atiku is contesting the presidency for the sixth time. He had contested against Chief MK Abiola in 1993 on the primaries, that's the platform of the Social Democratic Party, SDP. Yes, SDP, Atiku was a member. He contested again in 2007 on the platform of the defunct Action Congress, AC. He contested under PDP in 2011, on the platform of APC in 2015, and under PDP in 2019. His major problem now is in Rivers State Governor Jason Wike, whose alleged anti-party activities have the potential of drowning the party at the 2023 elections. And now, in the All Progressives Congress APC, the candidate Bola Tinubu is battling to sell his Muslim ticket, so also his health, which many people say is not robust. Peter Obi's mantra of no shishi may be working against him in an economically devastated society, and some say he might even get there and start the process of Biafranism, and so on and so forth. Now, the name Social Democratic Party SDP is synonymous with June 12 in Nigeria. It was on 6th June 2018 that President Muhammadu Buhari, the 15th president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, declared it as the basis of democracy in Nigeria. And during the declaration, the president also conferred a posthumous title of Grand Commander of the Federal Republic GCFR on Chief Moshood Kashimawo Olawale Abiola. With this declaration, Abiola has been officially recognized as the winner of the June 12, 1993 presidential election, which has been adjudged as the freest and fairest in the history of the country. Chief MK Abiola ran his presidential campaigns on the platform of the Social Democratic Party of Nigeria, commonly known as the SDP. It was created alongside the National Republican Convention (NRC) by the then military president Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida. The frontline members of Chief Abiola's Social Democratic Party then included Atiku Abubakar, Jerry Gana, Abubakar Rimi, Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, Dako Sarumi, Sule Lamido, Iyocha Ayu, Boss Mustafa, even Bola Tinubu, among others. These people have joined other political parties in the Fourth Republic and left the ideologies of the SDP. For instance, Iyocha Ayu is the national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, one of the presidential aspirants of the SDP in 1992, Atiku Abubakar, is now the presidential candidate of the PDP. Bola Tinubu, who was elected senator on the platform of the SDP in 1992, is now the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, APC. Yes, Tinubu was a senator under the platform of SDP. Now, the name SDP later disappeared to emerge in 2014. It was formed by a coalition of 13 parties and contested posts in the 2015 general elections. A chieftain of the SDP and one of the first presidential aspirants, Chief Olufalaye, was quoted to have said SDP was revived to address the failings of the two prominent parties, PDP and APC, and to provide credible alternatives to Nigerians. And as the PDP predates both the APC and PDP and has a history of winning elections. However, the winning prowess of the party is yet to be felt. As the countdown to 2023 presidential elections begins, a curious observer may ask, what are the possibilities of the Social Democratic Party gaining back her glory in Nigeria's democracy in a situation where its founding members such as Iyorchia Ayu, Bola Tinubu, Atiku Abubakar are taking prominent roles in other political parties? Well, I hear the answer lies in the hands of young Nigerians. In 1989, when the SDP was formed, most of the members were young people in their 30s, 40s, and early 50s. The party attracted young radical intellectuals and socialists who wanted a better country for themselves and their generation. Today, one may wonder if the youths or young people in their 30s, 40s, early 50s are ready to take over the affairs of the country for good by grouping themselves into an ideological movement like the SDP. In the end, the battle still lies in the hands of young intellectuals, young businessmen, and young socialists to rise up like Abiola and the comrades did. Abiola played his part and left. The problems he came to solve are still staring in the face of Nigerians. As it is now, the gospel within the SDP is that it is now time to rally around the young people of Nigeria into one voice in reinventing the social justice platform under which Abiola won his election, so that by 2023, during the 30th anniversary of June 12, Nigerians will be remembering the day with a president on the platform of the Abiola party and not necessarily with a president who is one of Abiola's friends. Now, I have done this to set the tone as a prologue for this package, which I am hosting the presidential candidate of the SDP, Prince Adewole Adebayo. And we go this way. Thank you once again, Prince.
Pleasure.
Now, I have spoken about the Atikus of Nigeria, the Tinubus, the Peter Obis, and I've even talked briefly about some of the things they've done antecedent. Now, can you tell us some politically related antecedents of yours?
Well, I'm happy that you remember the SDP. I was a member of the SDP at that time, and I joined the SDP when I was about 20 years old. And I think, I pasted more posters than any other person at the time. I was always in Jack Ande's house on Bishop Street in Lukweju. I was staying at Obalode in Lukweju. And I was always in Abela's house, Tony Street, in Ikeja.
Yeah, in Ikeja.
And after the annulment of the June 12, who were the people going on the street and inhaling all the tear gas that the military was throwing. So I've always been a member of the SDP. I've always been a believer in the SDP. And of course, when I was at IFE, I was in the student union. And after that, I've been involved in so many other activities. The only thing that I found PDP too abhorrent, even in its better days. I try my best to be sympathetic to anyone who had public duty to perform. Whether you're President Obasanjo, whoever you are at that time who was in office, I'm always eager to assist any government in authority to try to correct, to try to assist. So there's no government that can say I've not one way or the other offer assistance to them. But for the life of me, I couldn't have joined the PDP. And when the APC came, I couldn't join them either because I could see through their mantra that they didn't mean what they were saying, and they didn't have the capacity to do whatever they were promising, and they did not have a clear and sincere appreciation of the situation of the country. So it was whether the situation of the country now is deteriorating beyond what history can tolerate. Even if you personally want to tolerate the problems, history will not be kind to any person who could do anything and fail to do anything. And I looked around and I noticed that the SDP is still there. So I decided to join uh, my efforts and continue with the SDP.
Good. What we are hearing now in political circles is that it's time for youths. It's time for youths. Uh, yes, I quite agree. The youths have the vibrancy, but when we're saying that it's time for youths, where do we put the knowledge and experiences of elders?
I've always said that it's time for solutions. I've never said it's time for youth or anything. I've always
Okay.
said it's time for solutions. The only thing is that don't assume that the oldest person in the room has the best solution. So when it's time for solution, you will listen to everyone. There is a saying in Yoruba land that the youth is wise and the elder is wise is the foundation of Ile-Ife.
Mm.
And all of us come from Ife. So what they are saying is that the universe itself is created from the combined wisdom of the elder and of the youth. So once you understand that, I'm willing to work with any person, regardless of their age. And if you look at many people who are in office today, who are in their 70s, the foolish things of the youth has not even left many of them. They still lie, they still covet what does not belong to them, they still won't admit when they are wrong, they still won't have humility, they still won't listen. So, and there have been cases in which young people entered office and they didn't do well. There have been cases where they have done well. So age or ageism is not one of my priorities. What I'm concerned about is that a person must have a heart for public service, must understand that public service is a service and that you are a servant and that it's a privilege to be able to serve the public and that government is not about ego and government is not about bossing people around. The government is about providing services where they are needed. And that's basically what I believe we need in this country. So you are not commander in chief so that soldiers can march in front of you at Eagle Square. You are commander in chief so that you can keep people safe. You can render security services to the people. You are not president so that you can share all the money of the country. You are a president so that you can be a steward, a servant of the people that is sent on errand and will account to the people for the husbandry of their assets. So you are not head of state because you are the wisest person, but you are head of state because you are the custodian of all the sensibilities of the country. You are the person who will make everyone feel at home. So that is the concept that I have. And I believe that a 35-year-old could be a good president and a 90-year-old could be a good president if he could find the energy. However, our history has shown that those who are old in power now became old in the course of it. They came in as youth and they've learned certain habits. They become like dry fish. You cannot bend them. That is why I always preach to Nigerians that you have to carry the entire table and throw it out because it is impossible. Not that it is hard, it is impossible to change them because they've grown up into this and we started by deciding between the right and wrong and doing wrong. But we have reached a stage now where people don't know what is right from what is wrong. So they're not even positioned to do what is right because anyone who has been in government for the past 30 years does not know the purpose of government anymore because they've lost the purpose. And anybody in Nigeria who is 60 years younger has never seen good government. So if you ask them in their best endeavor, show us what a good government is, they can only talk about it theoretically. What I know about good governance was what I learned from history of when there used to be British rule in Nigeria and the First Republic, and from many years of interacting with governments all over the world and seeing how their people serve them. You could see recently what happened in Britain. Because even the best country, the best system can get it wrong. But the attitude towards the fact that public service requires public trust, and that when public trust is thinning away, you leave the same. That's why you see that Britain is trying to self-correct. So that kind of mentality is what we think we need to bring into governance. It doesn't mean that the person you elect in 2023 will be an angel from above. No, you will have opened a new chapter where the person at least knows the purpose of that office and knows that the standard they need to aspire towards, and where they falter, they will admit. And where they falter too deeply, they will leave the office and you can put another person. The country is not short of good people, but the country is short of an atmosphere in which the Nigerian people can define what the office of president means. Nobody knows it now. People just think is that it's one big candy that rotates from place to place, and whoever is holding it is having the best of things in life. It's not seen as a place where services are to be rendered, and the resources of the country to be channeled, and the energy of the country to be directed towards making progress for the country. That's what I'm coming to change.
Great. Socioeconomic rights and accountability projects. I read something about SERAP, and I know that you have even gone into a discussion with SERAP. You have offered to declare your assets even before election. You challenged other presidential candidates. Only Showore was able to answer. Now, I need this education, not just for myself alone, but for the people at home. What is the difference between you declaring your asset now and declaring your asset if you become a president?
There are two differences. Difference number one is that by the time many people are declaring their assets, it's too late. People have already elected you. So if they discover that you are lying or you have assets you cannot account for, it's too late. You've already been elected. I feel that we should do it before we are elected, so that people can see that this is the asset you have. That's number one difference. Second difference, that the second one is secret. The one you declare is not declared to the public. It's declared to the Code of Conduct Bureau. So that one is done in the dark, and nobody knows what you've declared. So whether you've lied or whatever, so many people now have served as governors. In fact, I know of a presidential candidate now who is going around saying he's clean, but he has a problem with the Code of Conduct because he didn't declare his asset correctly. He kept some money overseas until there was some scandal and the website carried it. So now maybe his friends in the media are helping him to cover it up, but the Code of Conduct is looking for him. So we don't want a process that is opaque like that, where somebody has violated the law, but the public can't do anything about it. And with institutions like SARAP, when they now write to the Code of Conduct, they will say, well, we have to respect the privacy of the person. We will not declare we won't let you see it. So that is what I'm trying to remove from it.
Okay.
And it's only those, and it's a voluntary process. But if you are saying that you are against corruption, you are against graft, you are against lack of transparency, this is the first test. You come and show it. But if you are, many of them are corrupt, and they are comfortably corrupt, and they are unrepentantly corrupt. So those ones, you can't blame them. The people voting for them know that they are corrupt. The way they spend their money, you know they are corrupt. The way they live their lives, you know that they are corrupt. But people have other reasons why they like them. But they know that, yeah, this man here is corrupt to the bone. But it is those who say we are different that I believe that ought to show by action, not hypocrisy. You cannot say these people are corrupt. We are different. Okay, show your asset. show a sign that at least you tie yourself in the public. You cannot escape because everybody knows you are sick now. So you cannot say, oh, I got this suddenly. Because if you look at the current government and look at the one before it, they have produced emergency billionaires in office. And these billionaires in office, it's not because I'm envious of them. For them to make these billions, they have wasted trillions. For a person to collect $1 billion or $500 million or $100 million from those who are stealing crude, that person will allow them to steal crude almost $100 billion. For them to collect $1 million bribe from a contractor, they will have padded the contract to the point where the country is losing almost 50 million. So it is, the corruption is dangerous in two ways. Is that it makes people to spend money they didn't earn, but in order for them to be given that bribe, they have to open the floodgate and let people cheat us and ruin us. And that is why it's important. It's not just to show that somebody has a seat.
All right. Just before you go, we are still going to talk to Nigerians. We'll give you some minutes to address Nigerians. I want to ask, former Vice President Atiku is contesting the sixth time as a former Vice President. Bola Tinubu was a governor 2 times and very influential. Was a senator, I think 1992, under SDP. Are you not intimidated by these two gentlemen who you are contesting with?
No, not at all. I'm amused by it because I've been listening to them. We went to Arewa House, all of us, and it was an opportunity for them to make their case. One said that I don't have anything to say, but I'm from the north. Have mercy on me. That's all Atiku had to say to the north. Because they asked us the same question. Why should we adopt you? He just said, well, I'm from the north. That's all. He can't say, I'm good this way, I'm good this way. No, I'm from the north. You are my brothers. Adopt me. The other one rambled and rambled up and down. So, in the end, why are you intimidated there? There's not to be intimidated. They have track record, and people can see. So, for someone like me, it's only when you bring a performer, a person who has telling record, even me, I will not even run. I will say, let me support this person. That's a telling record. So, in a country in which people are hungry, I'm running against those who cause the hunger. In a country in which people are unsafe, I'm running against those who cause the insecurity. In a country in which people are divided, I'm running against those who cause the division. In a country in which schools are shut, I'm running against those who shut the schools. In a country in which infrastructure is decayed, I'm running against those who cause the decay in the infrastructure. Why should I be intimidated? They are exhibit A and exhibit B of the problem of Nigeria. I'm like a prosecutor who is coming to say, see the face of hunger, see the face of insecurity, see the face of graft, see the face of underdevelopment, see the face of a poor government with rich politicians. It's only here that we see it. All over the world, I have many friends who have served in many governments all over the world. I always give example of my friend Tom Perez. He has Assistant Attorney General, he has Minister of Labor, as Secretary of Labor under Obama, he has many things here. He was running for election recently in America. I went to help him. He told me, I don't have money. He didn't have up to $10,000 to run for the election. His people contributing money to him. But the American government is rich. But he as a politician is poor. But in Nigeria here, the government is broke. But we went to Arewa House. They are landing in Kaduna by jets. Just to come and speak to Arewa House. They are landing by jets. One of my opponents is taking a helicopter to fly over a flood area. He has enough money to hire a helicopter and fly over the problem of the people. So, this poor government, rich politicians, why should I be intimidated? Not at all. I am more concerned about whether the people of Nigeria are paying attention. Whether now that Barabbas is running, are you going to vote for Barabbas or are you going to vote for the prophet? So that is basically the issue. So it is now left in the hands of the people. Let me say something clearly. These repeat offenders are not to blame. Because if a person can slap you 3 times without reply, they will slap you forever.
Yeah.
If a person can rob you and come back and rob you and come back and rob you, if a person can lie to you and come back and lie to you, they will just assume that you are like the abuse. So it's left for the Nigerian people to say categorically, we are done. But as far as I'm concerned, until the people are done, every person, some people will come out of jail wearing prison uniform and still run for election until people say enough. Because it's a fundamental right of anybody to run for office. So it is now for you to say no, enough is enough. So if enough is enough in 2023, the election result will show so. If the people still have enough bandwidth for more suffering, then the result will show. So it's a question of what people want to do.
We really thank you for finding time to be with us.
It's a pleasure. And God bless Nigeria.
Amen. Well, that will be all. Let me say from this end for now, because the journey has just started, the journey for the campaign, and we want to believe that any time we run to Prince, he is always there for us so that we can clear some issues. Prince Adewole Adebayo, that's the presidential candidate of the Social Democratic Party, SDP. He has spoken broadly on a number of issues. But then, if you still think that there are certain things you still want to know, that maybe that we skipped, or you want more explanation, you can get in touch through this number 0806503030. It's on the screen. Or you send your email odionbello@gmail.com. We're here. We have no other place we can call our own apart from Nigeria. Bye for now, and God bless you. Holding someone accountable is not an attack. There may not also be a tea party. Accountability Africa is designed to always ask questions on how our commonwealth is being handled. And from the private sector, we pry into their customer service operations. Accountability Africa.